Thank you so much for joining me today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. My pronouns are she and her, and this is going to be a wonderful practice to take care of your feet and your hands, forearms, the neck and shoulders. We all are on devices a lot all day. We are all on our feet all day. So let's go ahead and take care of those parts of our bodies that really don't seem to get much attention. So have any blocks or blankets or pillows that you have around the house nearby to support your practice, and we'll come on down to lay on the mat. Let's go ahead and come into that constructive rest pose, taking the feet out wide enough to let those knees fall in on one another to support one another. And you might need to adjust your feet, how close they are to the sit bones. Just make sure those knees can be supporting each other with zero effort here. You have expended lots and lots of effort today, so this is the time for you to find ease. And with your hands resting on your belly, letting those shoulders and the triceps rest down to your mat, just begin to notice your breath. And if it feels comfortable for you to close your eyes, close your eyes. And if not, just keep your awareness in the space around you with softened eyes. And if you're breathing up in the chest, you might not notice the breath in the belly very much. So maybe you might invite the breath to come a little bit deeper. Just notice the rise and fall of the belly. You might like to imagine a very calm ocean with a gentle swell rising and falling. Just a soft, gentle flow. And this area of the body between the belly button and the pubic bone is the sacral chakra, the Svadhisthana chakra. And the element that it represents is water, that ability to be in the flow, that ability to kind of get in that creative mind, and that ability to feel your emotions. And sometimes we can get stuck here, frozen even, when our feelings and our sense of creativity are stifled for whatever reason. And conversely, we can get that water element to kind of evaporate like vapor, being detached from our emotions and not expressing ourselves creatively. So just imagine yourself going with the flow. And let this practice be easeful and fluid and restorative. And as you continue to breathe deep into the belly, invite the breath even deeper down into the pelvis, expanding through the hips. And as you exhale, Let all the air out with a gentle, gentle squeeze, maybe engaging the perineum, that mula bandha, kind of a gentle Kegel exercise to really squeeze all the air out, recruiting that transverse abdominis. Nice big inhales, releasing the perineum, expanding, relaxing, and complete and full exhales, engaging and releasing. Let's just find 3 more big full breaths just like that. Next time you find yourself exhaling, go ahead and heel toe those feet in towards one another, bringing them to parallel, bringing the knees out to parallel, about hip width apart. But after you have your prop and find yourself in that kind of bridge preparation pose, and we're going to lift the hips and pull whatever support you've chosen right underneath the tailbone here. And just let those femurs sink down into the hip sockets. And if this is not comfortable for you or contraindicated for you, just keep your back nice and flat on the floor. Next time you inhale, let's go ahead and stretch everything out nice and long. Get those fingertips as far away from the toes as you can and give all of those digits a nice wiggle. Spread the fingers and toes open wide. Let some air flow. Maybe open and close the fingers and open and close the toes too, as if you're curling them around a pencil and then releasing. Just open and close. And then we'll rotate the wrists and ankles in one direction. And then reverse the circles. One more big inhale, extending those fingertips as far from the toes as you can. And then we'll exhale, bringing one foot and then the other down to the earth. Let's go ahead and hug that left knee in right here. Give it a gentle squeeze. Maybe keep the sole of the right foot down. Maybe extend that right leg out nice and long, pressing into the heel. Draw the left knee in towards the heart as you press the sole of the right foot away and open up through the center, open up through the groin, open up the hip flexor. If you've been sitting a lot all day, the front of the hips can get really, really tight here. Or if you've had a particularly stressful day, that'll show up in really tight hips too, whether you've been sitting a lot or not. One more inhale here. Exhale to draw the right knee in towards the heart. Give it a hug and set the sole of the left foot down. Again, you might just want to stay right here, hugging this knee in, or you could straighten out through the left leg and really get kind of this gentle passive back bend here in the low back. Just think about these two opposing forces of the left foot pressing away and the right knee coming towards the heart. One more inhale right there, and we'll exhale to draw the left knee in. And we'll just take those arms out wide into a T. And really think again about breathing deep into the low belly, whether you're on a support or not. You really want to engage that core here. So if you inhale, really expand down into the low belly, into the pelvis. And as you exhale, engage the perineum, engage that mula bandha, and notice how that deep abdominal muscle gets engaged as well. So we want to keep that engagement as much as possible. We inhale right here, and as you exhale, just rock the knees towards the right, about halfway towards the floor or a little bit less, not all the way down towards your blanket or the floor. And then we'll come back up to center. Inhale here. Exhale, knees rock over towards the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees rock over towards the right. And we'll just keep going from side to side here, moving nice and slow, keeping that core engaged, protecting your low back, massaging the sacrum, massaging the hips, massaging the low back. And at this point, if you feel like you want a little more depth, you can start to bring your knees a little bit closer to the earth. Just remember to keep that core engaged. And we'll go one more time to each side. Last time to your left is the last time. We'll draw everything back up to center, and then we'll set both feet down on the earth, press into the soles of the feet, remove your support if you have one, and then bring your low back right back down to your mat. Take a moment right here. Just notice what you feel in the low back. Notice any difference since we began our practice. And then we'll take those arms out nice and wide, take the feet as wide as the mat, and we'll do that side to side motion again, but this time we'll rock the neck or rock the gaze as well. So we'll inhale right here at center, exhale, knees right, gaze left, and the knees can come down as much as you like. Inhale back to center, exhale, knees left, gaze right. We'll just keep wiping the knees from side to side, getting movement in the whole entire body, getting movement in that middle section, twisting, which is so good for the spine and so good for the digestive system, so good for the circulatory system and the lymphatic system and the adrenal glands. Let's bring those knees back to the right side one more time. And let's just rest right here. Let those, maybe your knee is resting on your blanket like mine is over here. It just kind of worked out that way, or to a block. If you want to get deeper into that left hip, you might lift your right foot to rest on top of the outside of the left thigh. And I don't feel like I need that extra depth here today, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want that extra depth, feel free to do that. One more breath on this side, and then we'll inhale back up to center. Knees left, gaze right. If you did that little depth increase on the opposite side, you probably want to do it again on this side, but if not, just go ahead and leave the legs where they are as you breathe into the side body. One more full breath here. And then we'll inhale, knees and gaze back to center. Any way that it works for you, we're going to come to a seat so you can either roll to one side or the other and press yourself up. Or maybe you want to tap into that creative, joyful side of yourself and move with a little fluidity and rock up and down your spine. Maybe giving yourself a little bit of a massage. You might hear a little snap, crackle, pop there. Rock a few times and then come up to a tall seat. And I'm going to use my blanket to sit on here so that my hips are supported and I can draw one heel in and then the other, letting those knees come down evenly towards the earth. You could be sitting on a block or even two blankets if you like. And we'll just come to that tall, strong spine, bringing your attention to the base of the spine, bringing your attention up to the next vertebrae up from the tailbone. Just kind of visualizing each and every bone of the spine as you move your awareness up from the sacrum through the lower lumbar spine. See if you can create a little more space in between every vertebra, all through the mid-back, the thoracic spine, into the cervical spine and the neck. Really tall here. And as you're here, gently press your palms into your thighs and encourage those knees to come down a little closer to the earth, be a little bit more grounded. Let your elbows be heavy and let your shoulders come away from your ears. And gently draw the base of your skull up towards the sky. As if you were lifting from that little occiput, I believe, is that little crest at the base of the spine. Just picking yourself up a little from there so you're uplifted and grounded at the same time. And then let's get a little bit of love into our hands. Go ahead and extend that right arm out in front of you like the stop in the name of love. I won't make you sing. I won't sing anymore, I swear. So we've got that hand pressed out. Talk to the hand, whatever you want to say, but we're going to reach out for that right thumb. And with whatever fingers feels right to you, we're just going to draw it back towards the heart. And take a breath or two while you're here and just notice the sensation across the base of the thumb, the palm, in the wrist, the forearm. And then move to the index finger, noticing the same thing, all in the inner forearm, across the palm. And again to the middle finger, maybe closing your eyes so you can really bring your awareness into your hand. Moving along all 5 fingers on the right hand. And once you've done that, we'll drop those fingertips down and we'll flip them up to the sky. Wiggle the fingers, kind of zombie hands here. Flip them up towards the sky. And then we'll just release the right arm down and roll the right shoulder up and back and down. And just notice, bring both hands out to your knees or thighs again and just notice the difference in your 2 arms, in your 2 shoulders, in your hands. Then we'll inhale and extend the left palm out. Just really getting a nice stretch across the inner forearm. Trying not to lift the shoulder here. And then we'll do that same thing. We'll draw the thumb back towards the heart. And then the index finger. Notice what you notice. Just moving the finger creates sensation much farther beyond. Keep moving until you get to all 5 fingers on the left hand. And then we'll find that zombie hand and we'll flip the fingers up to the sky and we'll wave the fingers. And then we'll bring the hand down and roll that left shoulder 2, 3, 4 times. And then we'll bring both hands to the knees once again. Reestablish your tall spine and just notice what you notice. You might feel a pulse in your arms or your fingers. You might feel a little energy. The temperature might have changed. This is all increasing that mind-body connection and our ability to be in touch with our feelings, to feel what we feel. Then let's bring the fists, close the fingers, creating a fist. The thumbs can be outside of the fingers, and we're just gonna bring the ends of we're gonna fist bump ourselves is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring those fists together, and we're gonna press the backs of the hands to the mat right in front of you. And if the floor is a little far away, you might wanna use a block or a pillow or something else. And we're just gonna kind of press into the backs of the hands here. And you can bend and straighten through the elbows. Again, you might close your eyes to come a little more inward. You might rock the hands back towards you a little bit, or rock the hands away from you a little bit, and just notice how that changes things in the top of the forearm. Bend the elbows a little more deeply or straighten the arms as much as you like, and just kind of play with that. See what feels good to you. You might hit a spot that feels particularly good. Just explore that spot. Let's just play here for another couple breaths. And then we'll just open up the fingers, open and close the hands once again. And then we'll just take that left hand to the right shoulder and just begin to kind of dry brush down the right arm. Just releasing any tension, any pent up energy, stimulating the lymphatic system, coming to the inside of the arm. And then we'll do the same thing on the left side. Brush the right hand down the left arm, the inside of the arm, releasing any pent up energy, stimulating that lymphatic system. We'll shake out the hands and then we'll come to the feet. So you can be sitting on your support again, have them nearby. I think I'm about ready to come off. If you've been sitting cross-legged like me, go ahead and change the cross of your legs. And we're just gonna first bring our attention to the fronts of the shins here. Maybe one at a time, take the pads of your hands. This is kind of a difficult spot to stretch, but right along the shin bone here. In fact, you could even bend the knee and have the knee out in front of you. Bring the foot down to the floor in front of you. In fact, I like that better. Try that instead of trying to be crisscrossed here. And we'll take those finger pads right along the shin bone. Not right on top of it. I think that would be a little too sensational. But maybe rubbing up and down with the thumbs. You might find a little tapping here along the shin bone. If you walk a lot, this can be very tender. You might even get shin splints. Just notice what you notice, and then bring your thumbs a little farther down towards your ankle, and just use your thumbs and your finger pads to massage above the bony part of the ankle, maybe back in the Achilles tendon area, down below the bony part of the ankle, getting a little closer to the sole of the foot and the outside edges of the heel. And then we'll just switch sides. Bend that right knee under you, extend the left leg with the knee pointed up to the sky, and we'll do the same thing. Just finding a little self-massage here and taking care of yourself. Sometimes it's hard to get out and get a massage, and sometimes it's hard to get a massage therapist that you resonate with, that massages the way you want. This way you can control the pressure, the speed, the type, and you can get to know your body a little bit better. What does it need? Where is it tender? Where could it use just a little bit of gentleness? And then get down into the ankle region and just experiment with how you're touching. And then we'll go ahead and come to Baddha Konasana, bringing your 2 feet together like a book. And again, you can be sitting on a blanket here, probably not a block so much. That might not be very comfortable on the outside of the thighs. But we're now going to use our thumbs at the same time on both feet, just coming to massage in the arches. Using the finger pads on the tops of the feet to just gently hold the foot as you massage the inner arches. Maybe bring the thumbs back towards the heels again and massage all along the sole of the foot. Just exploring any areas that might feel tender to you. And if you're interested in reflexology, there's tons of information online about that. But it's interesting how, all the nerve endings that are in the feet are connected to different parts of the body, energetically as well. And when we are experiencing discomfort in other parts of the body, we might feel tenderness there in the feet. Now move down to the balls of the foot, the joint right underneath each toe. And we'll use the thumbs to get into there. But the other thing too is when you're on your feet all day and you're stimulating those particular areas of the foot, it could affect the connected areas of the body. So it's very interesting, somewhat not as well studied as some other sciences of the body, but there's a lot of research out there and a lot of interesting stuff you might try. So now we're going to take our fingers and index finger and thumb and just give the big toe a squeeze and kind of gently pull the toe outward, maybe in and out, getting a little bit of movement there in that toe joint. And then squeeze the second toe, gently pulling in and out, stimulating the synovial fluid in the joints. Same thing with the third toes. And then that fourth toe. And lastly, the little pinky toe. Then we're going to hold onto the toes or to the ankles. We're going to give a little relief to our spine here. Let's inhale, cow pose, lifting the heart, drawing the shoulder blades down and opening the throat. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, press back between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the gaze, open the heart. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale into cow posture. Exhale, cat pose. And then we'll inhale back together to a nice tall spine. And we'll take the knees together and we'll come on over into tabletop. Let's curl those toes under and press the hips back towards the heels. And just get a nice stretch here across the soles of the feet. You might even have a little tiny, teeny, tiny pinky toe over here. You could reach back on both sides of the foot to kind of really get contact with all the toes on the mat as you stretch back into the bottoms of the feet. If this is not intense enough for you, you can walk those fingertips up and come to sit on your heels and put a little more weight into that, getting a bigger stretch across the soles of the feet. Whatever feels nice for you here. And when you've had enough of that, we'll untuck the toes and tap the tops of the feet out. We're going to sit on the heels coming into hero's pose. And again, you could use a block or a blanket to sit on. And in fact, I think here I'll use a block and I'm going to use it on the medium setting right between my ankles there. We're going to do a little bit more with our hands. Same thing like we did with the feet, with the toes, and we're going to gently pull the thumb kind of in and out, back and forth, little movement in the joint there. Same thing with the index finger, kind of moving from the lower joint, the ball, into the middle joint, the upper joint. Just stimulating that synovial fluid, giving a little love to our hands. And again, if this is too intense for you, if you have arthritis symptoms, just bring a little bit of gentle massage. And this can be really great to do with coconut oil. It's thought to have some anti-inflammatory properties, and it's supposedly a medium chain fatty acid that can penetrate the skin. So if that's true, awesome. If it's not true, at least you'll have super soft skin. And it's a little easier to massage when you do. And then we're going to bring the hands to heart and we're going to press the palms together. And try to press evenly across the fingers and the palms. So you might notice you've got more contact at the heel of the hands or in the fingertips. See if you can kind of even it out, finding even contact across all of your 10 fingers, across the palm of your hand, the outer edges. And as you press here, come back to that deep pelvic breathing. Inhaling deeply into the low back, into the hips. Exhale completely, giving a little squeeze to the Mula Bandha, engaging that root lock, and also increasing the strength and the flexibility at the perineum, which is wonderful if you're prone to constipation or diarrhea. I'm just saying it because it's real. And then we'll release, rotate those fingers and wrists and everything once again. And then if you're in a nice comfortable seat, we're just going to stay here. We're going to do a little alternate nostril breathing today. So traditionally, you bring the index finger to rest on the forehead in between the eyebrows. This is a great place to anchor your hand. It's also the third eye chakra as well. So you could tap into your intuitive self here, kind of activating that chakra. And we're going to inhale through the left side of the nose as we close the right side off. And then exhale through the right side. And then we'll inhale through the right side, close it off, and exhale through the left side. That'll be one round. So we'll anchor the index finger between the brows, bring the thumb to close off the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close the left nostril. Open the right nostril and exhale. Inhale, right nostril. Close it up. Exhale, left nostril. Continue breathing like that. Stimulating both sides of the brain. And really bringing your focused awareness to this practice. And if touching your face isn't an option for you, you can have your hands resting in your lap and just keep your focus on alternating the sensation awareness of your nostrils. So just focusing on that left nostril, the sensation there as you inhale, focusing on the right nostril then as you exhale. Focus on the right nostril sensation as you inhale, and then focusing left as you exhale. We're going to find 3 more rounds here of this alternate nostril breathing, the Nadi Shodhana. Let the breaths be even and balanced. You might visualize that pathway as you inhale through the right nostril, coming into the right side of the sinuses, stimulating the right side of the brain. And you could do the opposite as you inhale right, stimulating the left side of the brain and bringing balance to both sides. We tend to be in our left brain a lot as we're working that analytical, logical brain, but we're working with the sacral chakra today, that creativity, that place of creativity. So we want to bring some balance to the left side as well. Whatever round you're on, when you exhale next to the left, go ahead and release the practice. Bring your palms to rest on your thighs or knees and come back to your regular breath. And just notice what you notice. Bringing your awareness to your body, to your breath, keeping that connection, keeping yourself grounded in this present moment. And then let's go ahead and release our seat. We're going to come down to the belly. So you might want to, especially if you have a really hard surface, you can open up your blanket to fairly flat, but just enough to give you a little bit of cushion. And we're going to stretch out across the blanket, cushioning the ribs. And we'll bring the edge of it kind of underneath the bra line so you have some room for your breasts to be there if you have such things. And I'm actually going to scoot back a little bit so I've got a little more room here. And we're going to come up into Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel, pressing into the fingers and the palms. Maybe thinking about when we were having our hands at the heart and pressing evenly through both hands. Really press the tops of the feet to the mat and kind of imagine you're wearing a pair of jeans with a zipper on it and you're pressing the zipper down to the earth. That kind of lengthens the tailbone down and protects the low back. And if this is too much for the low back, you can take the feet out wider, or you can come down with your arms out a little bit farther so that you can come a little bit lower. This is great here for the low back, and also another way that we can open up our hip flexors. So let's go ahead and bend the left arm so that it is parallel to the front of the mat. We're going to bend that right knee and reach back for the right hand for your right toes or your ankle or your pant leg, whatever you can reach. And you can look back towards your right foot, pressing your ankle or foot or pants into your hands. Or you can turn your gaze towards the front of the mat or even a little bit over towards the left. You can either press the foot into the hand or draw the heel a little closer to the sit bone, whatever feels best for your body today. Let's take one more breath right here. Inhale one more time. Exhale, gentle release. And then we'll just switch sides. Bring that right forearm across the front of the mat. Reach back with the left hand. Draw that sit bone into this towards the seat, or maybe press the foot into the hand, lift the ribs a little bit higher. You might look back towards left foot, forward, or just a little bit towards the right. And notice what you notice, where you notice it, and what you need. Do you need a little less? Do you need a little more? Listen to your body. One more inhale here. Let's exhale to release. And then we're just going to take a few minutes, or not a few minutes, a few breaths in a prone shavasana. So we're going to spin those elbows out to either side, stack the hands, and bring the forehead to rest on your stacked hands. If prone shavasana is not for you, go ahead and flip on over and take a traditional shavasana. But you might enjoy experiencing gravity in a different way than we usually do. Really breathe into the back body and notice where you're holding tension and see where you can relax that tension. Maybe the shoulders, maybe the neck, the jaw. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, see where you can soften and get a little bit heavier. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you here, you can always extend your arms along your sides, bring the backs of the hands to the earth, and turn a cheek to the floor. If you're doing that, I will give you a little indication when it's time to switch sides. One more breath on this side if you've got a cheek down. And then very gently turn the opposite direction and take 3 more breaths here, wherever you are. And as you're ready, go ahead and windshield wiper your feet a little from side to side as you bend the knees. And then tap those feet out on the floor once again. Press your hands into the mat, press up to tabletop. Curl the toes under, pop those fingertips up, and just get a nice big extended child pose with the heart lifted. And then we'll come to a comfortable seat to finish our practice. I like to finish in Dandasana, staff pose, with the hips nice and even and the legs extended, but you find your favorite sitting posture to bring your spine up nice and tall. Inhale, raising the arms up alongside the ears. Bring those hands together, and exhale the hands right down to meet your heart. One of the mantras in yoga is called the Shanti mantra. It goes, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And it translates somewhat into English to mean, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may our thoughts, words, deeds, and actions contribute to that in some way. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste.